What's up, my yogis? So nice to see you again today. Today we are going to do just some gentle stretching. So we're not going to do a full yoga class. There's not going to be sun salutations. We're mostly going to stay seated on our mat. So if you're ready, roll out your mat and let's get started. Today I'm going to ask you to start in a kneeling position. Unless you have any injuries in the knees or anything that doesn't feel good, then you're going to find a comfortable seat. But if you feel good on the knees, we're just going to curl the toes for fire toes, my personal favorite, which is not true. So with fire toes, make sure the pinky toe gets included, just placing the balls of the feet on the earth. Bring the knees together to touch. And then just bring the left palm under the right and relax the shoulders. Take a minute to close the eyes. And we're starting by stretching the fascia in the feet. So we don't always get to stretch the feet, so it's really important that we take the time here. If it's uncomfortable, try to breathe through it. If it's painful, then come on out and just rest in a kneeling position like this. Good, so let's tap into our breath. Just taking an inhale for a count of 4. And a slow exhale from the mouth. Inhale from the root of the spine for 2, 3, 4, and sigh it out. Can you relax the shoulders down the back? And just imagine that there's a gentle weight on the shoulders, just helping us to sink deeper into this posture. And then imagine with each inhale, we're elongating and stretching through the feet. And exhaling just to soften. And then take the left ear to the left shoulder. And take a semicircle, drawing the chin down towards the chest and right ear to right shoulder. Take a breath in and out. And then draw a semicircle over to the other side. Take a full breath in. Sigh it out. And come back to the other side. Just slow stretches with the neck. Trying to focus the energy on where it feels good in the body. So sometimes discomfort we want to run or avoid. But can you change the perspective today, seeing it as an area that's helping you to stretch, to release, to let go? Take a full circle, letting the head drop towards the back, all the way around. And one the other way. Good. If you want to stay here, you're welcome to. If you need to release the feet, just come into a kneeling position. But if you're good here, let's lift the left arm up and over towards the right, taking a nice stretch through the side body. And then as you inhale, come back through center and up and over to the other side. Now try to keep this in the side body. As you inhale, lift tall. Exhale over to the right. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine, and exhale, left. And just staying in our breath, finding some dynamic movement side to side. Noticing where energy might feel a little stagnant, where we can just move it through the body with the breath, the prana. One more on each side. Good, and let's release the fire toes. Bring the hands forward. Tap the tops of the feet into the mat. Make a little noise. Good, and then come onto a seat and just spin the legs forward. We're gonna lay down on our back. Coming down slowly. Let's start by lifting both legs up towards the sky. So lift up the legs and then press through the heels and flex the toes towards the shin. Take both arms down by the sides and just try to soften the whole back into the earth. The sacrum is grounded. We're lifting energetically through the heels. We're flexing toes to shin, which we call a dorsiflexion. Good. Now we're going to reach the right arm overhead. As we lower the left leg slowly, reach the right arm down towards the mat. And then opposite. So we're going to kick that leg up, lower the other leg. You can look at the screen if you're confused. But it's kind of like we're moving like Frankenstein. So we lift the right leg, the left hand presses into the mat, and then switch. Lower the right leg, lower the right hand. Lift the left hand and press it into the mat as the right foot lowers. Good, you're engaging the core, you're moving with awareness. Opposite hand and foot. It's a lot harder than it looks. Looks really gentle and easy, but I'm feeling a lot of burning through the quads, through the core. Take one more on each side. Lengthening the spine. Good, and take knees into the chest. You can rock side to side if that feels good. Good, and then take hands into the knees and draw a big circle so knees come away from each other and together. And just ease the breath. Slowing it down. Shoulders stay glued into the earth. And just finding some movement in the hip flexors. If you're really tight, just take it slow. You can even hang out in one area for a moment. And send the breath. Notice where you've been focusing your energy lately. Take the knees the opposite way. Maybe you've been focused so hard on the hustle, the grind, waking up and showing up for your family, for your job, for yourself. Maybe you're spending a lot of time doing and not a lot of time just being. So this practice, this stretching that we're going to do is just allowing you to be. So not so much work, just more relaxation, more time to feel into your body and notice the areas that you might be overextending yourself. Good, let's come into a happy baby. Grab the edges of the feet or the ankles, kick the heels back up towards the sky and draw the knees outside of the edges of the mat. And then relax the shoulders. You might even shake the head no. Wiggle the shoulders down. And then as you start to draw the left knee towards the earth, you're going to tap the knee and kind of kick and extend the leg. If you're really tight here, you probably won't extend the leg much. But just subtle movements. Tap the right knee to the earth and try to extend that heel. Just side to side, moving slowly. So where we overextend in our life could be where we're maybe trying to avoid other parts of or other aspects of our life. So maybe we're overextending in our work to avoid sitting in stillness with ourselves. Maybe we're overextending our me time because we're avoiding our family or our relationship when things are hard. So today, just bringing awareness and balance into all aspects of our life by noticing where we put a lot of effort and where we're kind of shying away from ourselves. Good. From here, let's release the feet, put them onto the mat, and take the fingers and wiggle them so that you can touch the back of the heels. Good. From here, we're going to take some bridge poses, dynamic bridge poses. So let's reach the fingers towards the sky, but press the elbows and the triceps into the earth. Inhale to lift through the hips. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up. And we'll hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, lower down. This time we're gonna inhale and hold for 5, 4. You can also hold the breath. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, lower. This time inhale for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, lower. I invite you to inhale for 9. You can let the breath go when you need, but we'll hold this bridge pose for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Good. Just knock the knees together, take the feet a little wider, and then just kind of flatten the back once again onto the mat. Take a few breaths into the low belly. As you inhale, the belly lifts and rises. As you exhale, it softens back into the earth, feeling grounded, feeling safe and supported. Take 2 more slow breaths. Good. Let's find a figure 4 stretch. So take the right ankle, cross it over the knee. This might be enough for you today. You can press the right hand into the knee, just pressing the knee away from you. Or you can grab underneath the hamstring and draw the legs closer towards the body. If that's not feeling deep enough, go ahead and grab the shin. And try to level out the hips. You can bend the elbows a little, just feeling into the stretch. Could even invite a little dynamic stretch here, so you can straighten the arms and then bend the elbows and draw knees towards chest, and straighten the arms and draw knees towards chest. Stretching can just be some subtle movements, nothing extreme, nothing that overextends. We're trying to keep balance and awareness in the body. So often in our culture, we are not forced, but it almost feels like we're forced to show up in so many ways that are not naturally ingrained in our nature. We are nature. We're meant to act like nature, to roll with the seasons, to take rest in the winter, to create new things in the spring, to slow down in the fall, and to be a little more active in the summer. But so often we push ourselves at the same level of exertion all year round, and then we get sick, and we get tired, and we get anxious. So it's important to pay attention to the seasons of your body, the seasons of your environment, and to nurture your body as it is nature, as it's meant to live more naturally. Go ahead and release this stretch by planting the left foot back on the earth. Now watch here. We're just gonna let this foot fall onto the earth on the left side of our mat. And then we're gonna press that knee away from us. So you can look up here, we're kind of like a twisted pretzel. And then maybe take the right arm out like a cactus arm and gaze over the right shoulder. And just breathe into this subtle twist. Sometimes I think the world revolves around me, and if I don't show up for that activity I promised I'd go to, that it will fall apart and they won't be able to complete it without me there. And that's not usually the case. It's okay to say no when your body is calling for rest. It's okay and good to have boundaries with work and play. Just notice, are you saying yes or no to most things recently? And is your yes and no in alignment with how you feel and what you need? Or is it to please somebody else or to prove yourself to somebody else? Go ahead and release this stretch. And then just take some windshield wipers, let the knees fall over to the right and over to the left. Moving slowly, you might even take the fingers and press them into the hip flexors to feel the movement here. Good, this time we'll plant the right foot and cross the left ankle over that thigh. And maybe you match what you did on the other side. Maybe one side is tighter or more open and you can take a different stretch, honor your body. Relax the shoulders, ground the back into the earth, and breathe. It's okay just to be here. Can you power down the mind so we're not stopping the video to get up and do something that we don't want to forget? I know you're guilty. I do the same thing. It's like I always need a sticky pad, a sticky note next to me to record all my thoughts that I don't want to forget. Once you kind of release that need to always be thinking and doing, you can really relax into your body and know that this is the doing that needs to be had right now. The time for yourself to stretch, to release, to breathe. Notice if there is any tightening in the throat or the chest, just to release with the breath out of the mouth. And take 3 more fluid breaths in and out. Good, plant that foot back down. We're gonna let this sole of the foot fall over to the right edge of the mat. And then just take the left arm out like a goalpost. Press that knee away from you. And take a few breaths here. Good, release back through center. And take the knees into the chest and just rock side to side, massaging the sacrum or the waistband. Good, and then taking hands into the knees, draw circles with the knees glued together, just big circles. And the other direction. Good, we're gonna lift the heels back to the sky. And then we're gonna open the legs like a V, use the hands to support you. Once you go as wide as the hip flexors allow, take the hands to the inside of the thighs and rotate them towards the body. as the toes kind of turn down towards the top corners of the mat. And take a few breaths here. You can also circle out the ankles. You can point and flex the toes. Can you go a little deeper, maybe grabbing the calves? And gently release, bending the knees, drawing them towards the chest. Good. We're going to lift into a shoulder stand. If this isn't in your practice, you're going to skip this posture and you're going to just take some rocks forward and back, spinal rocks like this. Good. If you'd like to come into a shoulder stand, lift up the hips and support yourself with the hands. Point the toes, squeeze the legs together. And start to release the feet behind the back of the head for a plow pose. It's okay if you can't reach the earth with the toes. If you can, keep reaching. Lift through the tail. Try to straighten the low back. And breathe. Bend the knees, draw them towards the ears. If you're kind of floating up here, that's okay too. And then we're going to rock forward and up to a seat. Once you arrive, just come to sit in the center of your mat. And we'll just kind of wiggle out the legs. We're going to take a forward fold. So if you have blocks, you can place the hands on the blocks outside of the legs. We're going to make this more restorative. So instead of grabbing and pulling ourselves forward, just bend the elbows. Soften through the neck, tuck the chin. And even if you're just an inch forward, this is perfect. With time, as gravity does its work, we're slowly going to ease our way down further to this nice fold. Maybe it feels good to kind of shake the head yes and no. Each inhale, can you lengthen more through the low spine and then draw the heart more forward? Notice if you're creating more tension in the shoulders, can you relax the shoulders down the back? Draw the elbows more towards the hips and tuck the chin a little more. So we're never forced to stay in a posture that doesn't feel good. Take movement in the neck if you need. Adjust the way the shoulders are sitting. Flex or point the toes. Do something that changes the way that each posture feels. We're never stuck in our ways. We're never stuck in our jobs. We're never stuck in relationships. We always have a choice. We have a choice how we show up each day, how we react to situations that present themselves. And yoga is about bringing more awareness, more consciousness to the way that we respond, to the way that we choose to be, knowing that we're impacting everything around us with each smile or each grunt of anger, with each helping hand or ignorant comment. Everything we do has an impact on those around us, on the energy fields that we merge with. Gently sit back up and just take the hands behind you and shake out the legs. Good. Let's take the left foot in towards the right thigh. I'm going to turn to the long edge of my mat just to be comfortable. And then hang out here for a moment, just shaking out the right leg. Good. Let's take the left hand outside of the hip. Press the knee and the toe into the earth. Reach up and back. Release the head. And then exhale, lower the seat and reach towards the right foot, taking a fold. Try to bend towards that knee, tuck the chin, level out the shoulders. Take a few more breaths. And then do that same movement again. Reach the left arm up and over outside of the hip. Reach the right arm back. And exhale, lower back down and take that fold again. Good. Now reach the hands inside of the leg. Maybe get the forearms grounded and keep folding. If it's too much, you can take the fingertips and take a more subtle fold here. And then walk the hands out and over all the way to the left. And once you arrive, ground the left forearm and then just take the side stretch. And then come on up and side stretch over to the other side. And back and forth just like we did in the beginning. Good, and back through center. And draw the right foot into the left thigh and extend the left leg long. Let's switch sides. You can wiggle out that leg. And then take the right hand outside of the hip, press the knee and the toe into the earth, reach the left arm up and back, lifting through the hips, breathe into the front body. And exhale, lower the seat, and take a fold over that long leg. Take 7 breaths. Fluid breath in and out. And come back up and reach the right arm outside of the hip, lifting the hips once again, releasing the head back. And exhale back to your forward fold over the long leg. But this time, take the hands inside of the foot and fold there. Good. Reach the fingertips as far as you can and start to walk them over towards the right knee. All the way over to the right so the right forearm can ground, and lift that left arm as you kind of bend the elbow and let it fall into the side stretch. Inhale, come back up and over to the left. Reach through the side body and back and forth a few times. Slowing down the movement. We can't feel our bodies if we don't take the time to really feel each stretch. So often I see students that are just flying through movements to show that they're listening to directions, but I can tell they're not really feeling their body. So take the time to feel. Your body will thank you later. Good. Last one. And back through center. Come into a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. And we're going to take the right arm under the left. We're going to cross at the wrists and try to bring the palms to touch. Now, once you're here, my thumbs are towards my third eye. If you're confused, just take the back of the palms together, thumbs at third eye, or give yourself a big hug. From here, lift the elbows in line with the shoulders. Now try to spread the scapulas away from each other. So we're kind of concaving the front of the heart by wrapping the shoulders around the heart. And focus on the breath. So as you inhale, draw the energy from the earth up into the crown of the head. You'll even notice the elbows kind of lift as you breathe in, and the elbows kind of lower as you exhale. So really slow down the breath as much as you can. Inhale. Exhale. In. And out. In. And out. 2 more fluid breaths. In. Out. In. And release the arms as you breathe out. Reach them back. And then draw the palms to touch. Tuck the chin. Inhale, open like cactus arms. Open through the heart. Gaze up. Stretch the pets. Hold here. 3 breaths. And exhale, release. Take the opposite foot on top. And then this time we'll do left arm under the right. Did we already do that? I think we did. You decide which side you did. I'm going to do left arm under the right. Yeah, that feels right. Take the elbows in line with shoulders. Spread the scapulas away from each other. Deep breath in, lifting up slightly. And exhaling to ground down. Letting the energy move through the spine, through the 7 energy centers, the chakras. Starting at the root of the spine where we find stability and safety. Moving into the sacral chakra where we find creativity, sensuality. Up into the 3rd chakra, the solar plexus, where we find power, confidence. All the way into the heart, breathing into the space where we find self-love and balance in our life. Breathing into the throat chakra, where we express ourselves in communication. Inhaling into the 3rd eye, the space between the brows, where we hold the vision for our future, for our needs and our desires to be met with confidence and compassion. And that last breath all the way into the crown chakra, where we see our infinite existence, where we know that we are one with all, where our manifesting powers come into fruition. And exhale, release, cactus arms, this time drawing the hands at the low back and clasping them together. Chest rising, shoulder blades towards each other. 3 deep breaths into the heart space. And full breath in and out as you release the hands forward, round through the spine, tuck the chin, and take hands to the knees. Good. Let's just take hands to shoulders and draw some big circles like we're backstroking through the water, moving through whatever energies keep showing up, whatever patterns keep challenging you. Each day, little by little, learning more about ourselves, more about how we can show up and change the way that we see the world and see each situation. Switch directions. Good, and then take the hands like cactus arms and just twist side to side. Good, next time the left hand comes to the right knee and hold a twist. Soften through the neck. And twist to the other side, right hand to the left knee, gazing over the left shoulder. One more full breath in. And exhale back through center. We're going to end our stretching class in a child's pose. So just swing that leg behind you. We'll take the feet wide, the knees wide, the toes touching, and then reach the hands forward, drawing the forehead towards the mat, resting the forehead on the earth, and letting the heart melt. If you want a little more stretch in the shoulders, keep the elbows lifted. If your shoulders are tight and they need to rest, just let the elbows rest, kind of splaying out. You can even create a diamond shape with the pointer finger and the thumbs. Soften through the shoulders. Let the hips be heavy. If you feel really tight through the hip flexors, you can put some pillows underneath the belly and lift yourself up a little more. You can even do all these stretches in bed. You can take the ear to the mat if that feels more comfortable. Give yourself permission to rest, to slow down, to release any pent-up emotions. To communicate your needs. And permission just to be who you are. Not striving to be someone you're not. But knowing your self-worth. Knowing what you can and can't handle. Not needing to prove to anyone anything different. When the video ends, if you want to stay in your child's pose longer, feel free to just enjoy that posture, to add on any other stretches that feel good. But if you're ready to close out your practice today, you can just bring hands to heart center, back in a seated position or a kneeling position. And I hope the rest of the day serves you well. The light inside of me honors the same light in each of you. Namaste.